In my previous video, I talked about Elementor, what it does and how to install it. So in this video, I'm going to show you around everything about Elementor and important settings you can do in Elementor. All right, so if you hover around Elementor, you can see a whole lot of Elementor Home is where you can find every of their offers. You can watch videos on how to use Elementor. Black Friday is ongoing, and I'll also leave a link to get Elementor Pro if you want it. So you can see the Elementor AI. You can see the site settings, the site logo settings, and all of that, the global settings, the global font, you know, a whole lot of things here. There is nothing you need here as of now. There's nothing much here, just the whole of Elementor offers. So you can click on settings. Let me quickly show you what you can do here. The settings you can do here, this is the general settings. Okay, so if you're working with Elementor, you can disable the default colors in Elementor. That is fine. Disable default fonts if you want. If you don't want, just leave it the way it is and click on save changes. Right, so you want to go to integrations. If you want to integrate Google Maps API, if you have a Google Map API you want to integrate, this is where you will do that, and you click on what changes. So you quickly go to the advanced tab. So if you go to the advanced tab, these particular features here are features that can help you make your Elementor website, you know, a lot faster. Elementor is a heavy plugin on its own, but you can make it a lot better by doing some of these settings. So you can do what switch editor load method. You can enable this if you're having issues with loading Elementor. Unfiltered upload, you can disable this for now, but if you want to upload some things like icons and some external icons and some SVG files, you'll be able to enable this to help you or enable you upload those things. They warn you that you will not be able to upload some things, SVG files. If you want to do that, this is where you will come and enable it. You can enable Google Fonts if you want to use Google Fonts on your website. If you want to load them, just leave these ones the way they are and click on changes. You go over to performance tab. This is where you are going to set how fast your website loads or your page loads by enabling some of these things here. So you can enable optimized image loading, enabled. Gutenberg loading, enabled. You can load it, and you can decide not to load it. Lazy load background images, you can do that, all of this. So element cache, you can do all of this if you want, and then you click on save changes or save changes. So you can go to features. Okay, this is where you can see features that Elementor is constantly bringing on board, the ones that are testing, the ones that are live. Okay, you can see this one is in beta mode, this one's in beta mode. You should leave them until they are active. You can see the stable features. These are stable features. Inline fonts, you can decide to change this one. Then if you want to use the container structure, you click on this. Always do that. So if you want to nest element, you can actually activate this. And then custom breakpoint, if you want, I usually enable this. So whichever one you want, just click on save changes. You can see the editor version 4. This one is still in alpha form. They are still working on all of this. You don't need all of this at the moment. So we go over to the role manager. Okay, you want to assign a manager to access or manage your Elementor page. These ones are pro. As you can see, for you to do this, you need to upgrade for you to use any of this. Okay, for this particular role manager, you're just trying to give control to people who manage your website to manage your Elementor aspect. It says manage what your users can edit. What do you want them to edit? If you give someone an editor role, what do you want the person to do? You give the person access. If somebody is an author on your website, what particular role do you want the person to play? This is where you do all of that, but this is a pro feature. So you just want to go over to Element Manager. I want to explain what it does. It's also a feature that I always use. Most of these elements you see here are loading on the front end, and they are always making your website run slow. So what can you do, especially the ones you are not using, when you are building an Elementor web page? You will not be able to use all of these. So the ones that you're not using, you can scan them and do what? You know, deactivate them and do what? Deactivate the unused ones. I have a video on this channel where I talked about how to speed up your Elementor web page or website using the element manager, you can consider watching that video. I will also link it in the description of this video. So you can see the Elementor tools. This is where you can clear cache files, you can synchronize files, you can use the safe mode, especially if you are troubleshooting. If your Elementor plugin is not loading, you can troubleshoot by disabling or enabling this. You have control here, you can replace URL, you can do all of that here. You can also roll over controls. Let's say this version is giving you headache, you can roll back to the last version. So Elementor is in version what? Is version 3.331 now. So let's say this version is breaking your website, you can roll back to version 330 to be done here. So if you want to do beta testing, you can also enable this so that you can do beta testing for any of the features that are upcoming. Elementor has a lot of things you can do with it. If you want to put your website on maintenance mode, this is where you will also do that. Set your entire website as maintenance here. Anybody that comes to your website will see coming soon. They won't be able to see anything. You can choose coming soon, you can choose maintenance. If I do that now, if you visit this website, you won't be able to see anything. Who can access your Elementor? Anybody can access. Login or not login, you choose. So choose templates. You don't have any templates at the moment. If you have any templates for the coming soon page, you can select it here and then you save changes, right? If you have website templates, you can export and import. All right, so you can download the website as a zip file. Your Elementor website, this is where you can export it as a zip file. This is also where you can apply a website template. You can import a template and use it here. You can import design or settings from your zip file and choose from the file library, so it will be imported into your website. Elementor is amazing. So you can see your system info. Let's say your website is having issues and you're requested to download the system info. You download it here. Probably you want to contact Elementor support to help you. This is what you will download and send it to them. If you want to contact Elementor, you can actually click on help. If you want to make submissions, you want to submit anything, you want to create a form to generate leads, you have to upgrade to the pro version. You may not need this at the moment. There are plugins that can offer you this. So if you have custom fonts, this is where you also use it, but this particular one is pro. You may not need it at the moment. The default fonts here are okay for you. Custom icons too, if you want to use custom icons, you can see, you can watch this video here to understand much more better. If you have custom codes you want to use, you can upgrade. As soon as you upgrade, you'll be able to copy codes and use them here. Elementor is amazing. You have Elementor add-ons. These are tools that Elementor has that you can actually use, but many of them are pro. For you to access them, you have to pay. Can you see the Jet Engine add-on is here? If you pay or upgrade to Elementor Pro, you'll be able to use it to build a dynamic website in Elementor. What it does is that these add-ons will give you widgets, Elementor widget you can use on your front end to design a website. Maybe in my next video I'll talk about some of these terms, these WordPress terms, the blogs, the widgets, the elements, so that you'll be able to understand them as a complete beginner. If you want me to do that video, please drop it in the comment section of this video. So you can connect your account. Click on connect. You'll be able to connect your Elementor account. If you create any account, you'll be able to do all of that, connect it to that particular account. So if you want to create Elementor account, you can just come to your browser or click the link I will drop in the video description to create account with Elementor. Then come here and link it to this particular place. You can also upgrade as a pro user. That is all about Elementor. And then you see here, if you want to upgrade, click on upgrade. It will take you to their Black Friday. They are offering a huge discount, and I'll also leave the link in the description of this video. Here we have the templates. Elementor has a builder that you can use to customize every aspect of your website. You have saved templates, you have the theme builder. The theme builder is on pro version. You can use it to create different types of pages, single pages and all of that. So you can design any templates at all you want to design. Let me quickly click on the theme builder So if you click on the theme builder, as you can see, they are pro. So these are things you can do with Elementor theme builder. You can design header and footer. You can see you can design header and footer here. You can design a single page and design it the way you want. You can design an archive page, single page, search page, product page, you know, the error 404 page. You can design all of that here in Elementor, and then they will display on your website. So this part of Elementor is paid, so you have to upgrade, but you don't need that at the moment. What you need is how to design with Elementor, and which is what I'm going to teach you in subsequent time. I'll also teach you how to do all of these advanced stuff. So if you have not watched my previous videos on how to install Elementor, purchase domain and hosting, please, I will drop a link to a playlist on how to go about WordPress as a complete beginner, and I also link in the description how to do everything in WordPress as a complete beginner. So this is a complete full package you need to master Elementor in this 2026. See you in my next video.